It really does seem that 4 or 5 years ago, cybersecurity was frankly just something we used to see in James Bond films and we'd let GCHQ deal with. But the world has changed, hasn't it?
Everything is connected. We live in a connected world, whereas only a few years ago, there was probably only a third of some of the numbers that are now physically connected online, and this is going to increase even further over the next 5 years. So it's really, our culture has changed, and we are an online community nowadays. It is about the people, you're quite right. It is about the education and the awareness of people so they understand how the threat landscape is changing, and it has changed significantly over the last few years. This is a major line of business for the criminals. These cyber criminals are realizing that us as individuals, we are the weakest link because we assume we know more than we actually do when it comes to our online security. And then you've got to throw in the mix on our processes and how small businesses behave online. So, for example, the password policies they may adopt or their acceptable use. We need to make sure that we have these in place to try and have the best defense against these cyber criminals because they know that we can be the weakest link.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned small and medium enterprises. Is this something that historically they've just thought, this doesn't apply to us? We're not the big boys. We're not British Airways. We're not a massive bank. I can get away with this until that awful moment when they can't.
No, exactly. And this is all about their risk. But from a cyber criminal perspective, they see small businesses as big business for them because they realize that small businesses can't really afford to put this level of investment into their security. Unfortunately, they are the main target for the cyber criminals.
You have your day coming up on the 8th of November at Kingsholm. Obviously, I don't want to give too much away for those attending, but what will be the sort of top 2 or 3 bits of advice that you'll be giving to local businesses?
Well, one of the key things we want to do, and collectively from both our perspectives, is really the importance of ensuring that both physical security and cyber security must be considered together as part of a total security strategy for any business. We want to give some demonstrations on how easy it is to put together these phishing emails, which we all receive on a daily basis. But more importantly, what happens when we interact with those emails? So we want to give a visual demonstration of when someone clicks on those infamous links in the emails that you've won the free iPhone or this is your invoice, what the hacker can do. And we will demonstrate that visually on how a cyber criminal can infect your organization's IT systems and then what they possibly can do.
There'll be plenty of people listening to this, and goodness knows if I wasn't this side of the microphone, I'd be one of them thinking, yeah, but I've been in work, I've sat there on a Monday morning wasting hours watching all these training videos and GDPR. I know what I'm on about. And yet I keep coming back to this stat. 90% of data breaches were caused inadvertently by staff. There's no intent to go and cause a crisis for your company IT-wise, but that's how 90% of these accidents happen.
It is, and not very often are they deliberate. So this can be anything from sending the wrong information to the wrong email address to clicking on those links in those emails which you think are legitimate. So that's why we hammer home that education and training is critical to any business, and just by spending just a small amount of time, you can reduce your level of risk and make sure your employees are hopefully working safely online.